Hello, hello, beautiful person watching this. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Ironclad run. A little bit of an unusual one today. I was, first of all, playing unmodded here, as I learned that you cannot unlock the beta art if you are on the modded version. So going back quickly here and getting my one run with each character to get my beta art. And then going back to modded for my highlighting paths and relic stats. However, unfortunately, of course, we can't highlight the path here, but we can deal with that, I'm sure. But notably, this deck in particular was my first or second, probably second attempt. And it's not a great deck. So I'm not going to make it clear if this actually wins or not. It should be interesting. But would I waste your time? So yeah, I just wanted to display this deck, because if it does win, it's a miracle. And it's a really, really poor deck overall, I would say. So, first of all, we got boss swap into Velvet Choker. That means we can only play 6 cards per turn maximum for the whole run. We also just transformed into a Clash. Notably one of the worst cards in the entire game, generally speaking. It has its place in this run, though, I will say. Yeah, or Clash. Could have exhausted my whole hand with the elixir and then played it. Smart. And our first real relic is a bag of marbles, applying 1 vulnerable to all enemies at the start of each combat. And now that we have that, can actually perhaps take a drop kick. A little bit awkward. Drop kick likes to go infinite. And we also find a shovel, allowing us to dig at rest sites. Notoriously, one of the most noob bait relics in the game. It tends to not be very good, as imagine it like this. There is a relic to even compare it to, Whetstone or War Paint, that says upgrade 2 random attacks or skills in your deck, and you have several skills and several attacks that are just basic cards in your deck. It says upgrade 2 random cards, so a lot of the time you might just hit 2 strikes or 2 defense, but that's actually a solid relic, right? So imagine there was a relic that you could dig for, and it says upon pickup, upgrade a card of your choice. That card is probably, or that relic is probably better than the average relic. And so the unfortunate reality is you might as well just click the button that actually does that every time. However, in this case, I was feeling like having some fun. It is better to dig if you don't have any super good upgrade. But most of the time, you're going to have several really good upgrades. And that's the problem with the shovel, unfortunately. But we did dig and we found a tungsten rod, which allows us to take 1 less damage from all sources. And that's pretty good. There's also a blood vial we found, healings for 2 at the start of each combat, and Art of War, getting us 1 energy on the next turn if we choose not to play any attacks on the previous turn. Clash is cooking. It has to be said, Clash is cooking here. And I take a clothesline, and this clothesline was absolutely massive, and it's even worth upgrading over digging now, because we are facing Guardian and we found no block this whole run pretty much. I was really expecting to die to Guardian until I found the clothesline. And with a combination of Tungsten Rod reducing the damage of the multi-hits and Weaken basically being permanently applied here, we should actually have a much easier time. Decide to take a little bit of damage to play the bash there. Pretty important to get it vulnerable here. And definitely want a headbutt back. I mean, a bash. clothesline. And yeah, unfortunately the damage, I actually could have played Clash before Bash and that would have been more damage because got her right over the 20 health that we needed to do. That 21 damage was a very awkward amount, but I wasn't considering that at the time. Tungsten Rod's cooking. Clash is cooking. So despite Clash normally being something I consider terrible, it's actually been performing well in this run so far. Very cool. So I made it through Guardian. Good start. Offering is here. I don't like any of these cards, by the way. You have to take the offering, and we even have Tungsten Rod, so it only does 5. But without the Burning Blood Boys offering actually doing damage to you, it's a bit tough. And we can't even like pop off because we have 6 cards per turn max. And then 3 very sus relics here. We have the Coffee Dripper preventing us from resting, Ectoplasm preventing us from getting gold when we have Golden Idol, oof, and Cursed Key, which will add a curse to our deck whenever we open a chest. And Cursed Key is generally, well, of course you would love to take Coffee Dripper, but we did just take Offering, and we have no Burning Blood, so that seems a bit sus. Gonna take Cursed Key, and as long as I remember to do so, I will be avoiding taking a curse, so I'll just not even take the chest when we get there. We'll have to eventually take a chest as we want to take the key for the heart, but I personally don't like to take the curses. And so now we have 5 energy, which is a lot. I'm not gonna lie about that. But what are we doing with it? Not a lot. We're playing Clothesline and Bash and Clash. So I draw here hoping to hit some damage, and I do. Second Clash is here. Second Dropkick is here, but can't do the dropkick thing, unfortunately. Do the Transform 2, and we hit double Havoc. And unfortunately, Havoc counts as playing 2 cards, because Havoc is a card, and then the card it plays is a card. So that is extra bad when you have Velvet Choker in your deck, or in your Relic Bar. And it's not great anyway. So things just got a lot more complicated. Can I have those strikes back, please? And Shrug is fine. It draws a card, which is good with 5 energy, and its block, actual block, kind of needs some of that. And we got Waffle, so that's definitely a part of making it further in this act here. That is a very delicious waffle. It doesn't really help the whole our deck sucks thing, though, unfortunately. It only delays the inevitable. I could even I buy a Sever Soul. The cards suck so much, I gotta get rid of them, right? And I also need more oomph. I have so much energy, I just need something to actually do with it. So I take Sever Soul. Havoc hit the Ascender's Bane there. That's what just happened. Should have played so many different cards in so many different order there. You can work that out on your own, I'm sure. Bash first was definitely getting involved there, though. And Shockwave looks pretty good. Definitely a good card when you have 5 energy. Just throw that in there. Weaken everything, that's excellent. And huge cleave here on turn 1 of Ground Leader. And then I hit Shockwave after they're all dead. And now this Sever Soul can get rid of Havoc, which is great. We can Sever Soul our Havoc away. We also have Headbutt, so we could Headbutt something on top. But that doesn't seem great here. Could also just Headbutt the Cleave on top for next turn when it resummons. That'd be good. And then I can even Clash. Clash is cooking. Yes. So they're both not hitting us. Can just start hitting Gremlin later. Probably. It might just be dead. 1 health. Can't play Clash. Very sad. But should be fine. So a harmless Gremlin leader there. Very nice. And self-forming clay is here. Whenever we take damage on our next turn, we will gain 3 block per time that occurred, and that's really good because we can even damage ourselves. And some enemies, like the Beat of Death against the Heart, for example, really damage you many, many times, so that can give you a lot of block. No pain, no gain, as they say. Havoc hits Offering there, that's actually pretty good. Thank you, Havoc. So you're going to see me, you know, I don't think it's good to take Havoc almost ever. There's certainly a time and a place for it, but it generally is too unreliable, it's too awkward, like, there's so many times where it's like, oh, if it hits this card, I lose the fight, you know what I mean? So why would you do that? And then if you have Headbutt, great, but you can just Headbutt, draw the card, play the card. It's only very niche, and getting 2 of them is a bummer, and you're gonna see me trying to use these to the best of my ability. Take an Uppercut, another just big girthy attack that applies some debuffs, and I dig again over upgrading Uppercut. Get Molten Egg. Wrong order, unfortunately, to find Uppercut. And I remember to skip the chest. I almost snap clicked it. That would have killed me, I think, in this situation. Also, Havoc, when it hits an attack, it just hits a random enemy, which is very awkward. Kind of important to hit the thing you want to hit. So we're looking pretty dead here, I have to say. Thanks for watching. Good Havoc there. Perfect lethal there. And Reaper is here. Perfect. And we do have a spot weakness. So that's beautiful. A nice shiny green Reaper too. Not that that actually matters. And whack! We were knocked unconscious just after resting. That's kind of terrifying. Surely this deck can't beat the Colosseum. That's nonsense. Unfortunately can't play those last 2 cards. Yeah, Choker, of course. Reaper is still in there, not that they're all dead, very nice. And of course I'm taking the fight. You gotta take the fight, right? It's fine. Bash, of course, hits the wrong thing. Thank you, Bash. I very sadly drew the Reaper with a shrug at the very end. That's why you draw first, kids. Stay safe out there. And Gremlin Knob was not vulnerable, so I couldn't hit it there. And then, yep, got there. So this fight wasn't too bad, neither. Got Gremlin Knob dead on the turn I needed to. And I can Reaper. Perfect. So actually not too bad. And we get Old Coin, Mummified Hand. Unfortunately, we have no powers, so that's not doing anything yet. Third Havoc is here also. Complete trash rewards. Am I meant to be taking more Dropkick? I don't actually think so, but maybe. Just like, what if it isn't vulnerable, right? God, that'd be awkward. And Sever Soul allowed me to play Clash. Was definitely part of the consideration of taking the Sever Soul. The combo. What is going on here? And once again, making it through. Book of Stabbing here. So Reaper just barely keeping us alive. And Pocket Watch is here. That's very exciting, although we do have 5 energy, so it's going to be a bit awkward not playing a lot of cards. But of course, Pocket Watch will draw us 3 cards whenever we choose to play Fearless. Wait. Wow, I just realized it's like symmetrical. Anyway, whenever you play 3 or less cards in a turn, you will draw 3 cards the next turn. 3 additional cards. So that's obviously not happening here, and it is in theory a good combo with the Velvet Choker, right? Because if you're playing a maximum of 6 anyway, you might as well just play 3 or less and get the card draw. But it turns out playing double the amount of cards is pretty important sometimes. So Cleave first, then Shockwave, then Reaper in order to maximize the damage. Smart. Strength Pot is here, probably gonna take that over or something. And Second Wind is here. Maybe I want that, maybe I already have Sever Soul for that. This is a skip, it seems. I don't have enough anything to make that work. Don't have Dark Embrace, anything like this. Do I dig again? I do. Dig, dig, dig. And we get Sundial, allowing us to gain 2 energy whenever we shuffle our pile for the 3rd time. Unfortunately not very good here, we don't have a lot of draw. We do have Pocket Watch though. And so here we go. Into the Automaton. How can this possibly not die here, right? That's what I'm thinking. But I have to just Reaper. Hope not. Gotta gain some strength first, of course. And I want to dupe pot it, probably. Like, how do I kill the minions and Automaton and block for enough? It seems so doomed. Past me was really cooking here. So here we go. I have to bash Automaton probably, and then double the Reaper. And still take 38 on the way back. Oof. And we're out 2. Oh, we have Tungsten Rod. Unfortunately, Havoc hit a Havoc, which then hit a Strike, I think is what just happened. It's down to 2. And we just have to kill it in 2 turns. Shouldn't be too hard. Clash, get in there, Clash. Yes, sir. My boy. And Feed is here, and that seems pretty important. We need to have some health buffer here. If we walk into the heart with this, we're gonna just die. No way to make block for Juggernaut, unfortunately. And Pyramid is here with 5 energy. So even though we have this choker, hopefully it should be fine. And we have 1 billion gold here. So we're going to try to go left here. We have to go left for the Super Elite, of course. Nice. Havoc hit defend. Excellent. So we are very heavily reliant on this Reaper to keep us alive. Just gain strength, play the Reaper, and win. Try to headbutt the spot weakness to gain more strength and play bigger Reaper. More trash here. It's like 7,000th copy of Havoc that I've seen this run. Apotheosis is here. That's actually pretty good. Our deck, the cards that Apotheosis is upgrading are terrible, but it is a good relic. And also Medkit is here. Unfortunately, we can't just pop off with wounds because we can only play 6 cards a turn, but it is still good to get wounds out of our hand. We do have, or yeah, take a Heavy Blade Plus as well. We need to actually kill things eventually, as well as heal from Reapers, so take the Heavy Blade. And Medkit letting us exhaust the status cards can be quite good. And Mind Bloom is here. For some reason eyeing Normality like an absolute maniac. And decided to go for the boss as expected. Yeah, I could go Offering, Sever Soul Clash. It's beautiful. Slime Boss getting owned there. Not a Mango for 14 max health. Power Through is here. I do have a med kit. I'm not sure I remembered that I had a medkit. Otherwise, I would have snap picked it probably. And a second shop. We do have a cursed key, so I buy this Omamori. We are guaranteed a curse here. And I have enough gold. I had 400 gold going into the shop. That's the main reason I could get away with that. I considered buying Prismatic Shard, but boy, is that not good in this situation. You would just add even more trash to already trash. Take an Entrench, it looks like. Since we're upgrading all of our block cards in our deck, we can maybe, you know, defend, Entrench for a lot of block. And we have Pyramid to save all the cards as well. Again, very particular circumstances resulting in that click. I would normally not be buying Entrench here. So I pass, I let them all spawn and do a huge Reaper. Double tap will be good here. Probably play Reaper first. Oh, it doesn't even matter. I'm already like so close to full health, right? Ought to play Reaper. Do I? Oh no, I can wait a turn. Interesting. I meant to play Entrench. I, of course, ran out of cards to play in my turn, so that was awkward. I'm not sure if it was right to wait, but that was interesting. And so the self-forming clay there giving us 12 block at the start of our turn actually mattered a lot for Entrench, which is neat. Definitely pretty cool. And I accidentally did too much damage here, so have to pass for the feed. That's okay. Bash will get there. And bronze scales are here, reflecting 3 damage to the attacker whenever we get attacked. I see an Immolate Plus here. I see another Sever Soul. It seems very clunky and bad. I see Rage here. We can only play 5 other cards in the turn maximum, and it's unupgraded Rage. Actually, it's not. I have Apotheosis. Should have considered that more, but still bad, I think. We're not playing a lot of attacks. We're playing girthy, big attacks, so it might block for a little bit. But we're trying to find a better way to block. And notably, we haven't seen any of the cards that I usually need to win. Feel No Pain, Dark Embrace. Those are the cards that I tend to lean on in my Ironclad runs. When I find them, I dig my claws into them and hope that they get me there. And so not only is this deck, I would say, bad, it's also outside of my comfort zone. All the more impressive that I may win. Humble as always. I knew I had to get out this turn, so I just played the Reaper there. Could have gotten more health out of it in theory, but of course when they get the shield, then you actually can't, you know, do the damage with the Reaper. It's very awkward. Could be awkward anyway. And more attacks. God, these rewards are so bad. Maybe I was meant to take like Sword Boomerang there, because I have strength stacking stuff. Seems really terrible. Getting cards out of my hand for the Pyramid. Haven't drawn any good cards this fight, that's for sure. I'm just looking at this hand. I hope I'm not overselling the this deck sucks thing. I don't think that I am. So we have a few good cards, and then there's like 20 bad cards. I'm out of cards to play this turn, take a billion damage. Apotheosis bottom card, I'm not salty. How do I not die this turn either? Every step of the way this run, I've been like, how does this not die right now? So I have to play as many cards as I can this turn, and then Reaper to heal for the most I can. Defend, Reaper. Down to 9. Block again. Play heavy blade, hopefully. Oh, there's uppercut. Uppercut's really good. Actually applies weak, which does something. And yeah, can't worry about ghostly armor going away here. By the time we draw it again, we're gonna be dead. I thought I was gonna die to this giant head at the time. Surely, I can just see it in the way I'm playing. I was like, this giant head is gonna kill me, and that's how it ends. See, I'm playing the wounds just to apply slowed to giant head so that my attack does more damage, even though they were going to go away with the Sever Soul. And then I was like, oh yeah, I can just play heavy blade. So we got there. Found a frozen egg, which will upgrade any future powers that we find, if we find any ever in our lives. Of course, take the chest. I have to rest. Or take the key, rather. And the chest. You have Omamori to block the curse. Very good. So I'm pointing attacks at Spheric Guardian because I can't block the damage out to the spikers. How do I kill these spikers now? How is it even remotely possible? What is going on here? Oh, that's not good. The Havoc unfortunately bashed the left spiker there. Very rude. And once again, Self-Forming Clay actually gaining me significant block here. Self-Forming Clay was definitely the MVP of this run. I think without that I'd be dead, and dead, and dead, and also Reaper. I played Reaper a bit too prematurely here, perhaps. I'm noticing it's not here, and it certainly should have been. Now I can actually block. Very good. Got out. And dual wield is here. And dual wield is absolutely massive. It lets us copy our powers with Mummified Hand. Oh, wait a second, we have 0 powers, but it also lets us copy Reaper. And Reaper is huge. And we even have Runic Pyramid, so that's an insanely powerful combo. So we're actually finally doing something good on floor 47 here. And we still have to get to the point where we've drawn both the dual wield and the Reaper, gained some strength, and are now playing Reapers. So it's not like we've won automatically by finding this, I don't think, but it's certainly a game plan, and that's all it takes sometimes. So here we're bottom decking our Reaper, but it's okay. Everything's fine, cope. Now I dual wield the Reaper. And I could headbutt the spot weakness or the dual wield back on top. Gotta play some Reapers while it's tangible. And thank goodness we have medkits. Just getting cards out of my hand. I think I was considering waiting for dual wield again to come back around, but it might just be worth it to get out right now. Bit too sus. Wait. And now I realize I can't play feed, which is very awkward because I play too many other cards. But I'm still going for it, of course. And of course I can't kill here, it's intangible. Very sad. Take 4. And then heal the 4 back with the feed. All good. And Oddly Smooth Stone give us 1 dexterity permanently. More absolute trash, by the way. And this is a bit of an oof. We kind of really want this heavy blade, but I think now that I can just do this Reaper thing and dual wield the Reaper a lot, I don't need it anymore. It will be a bit tough to kill the heart though, like outright kill it. Has 800 health. But certainly can't lose Shockwave, that's a bit too strong, I think. And now we can do dual wield Clee or dual wield Reaper. Looking for Apotheosis first, but didn't find it unfortunately. I think he was already dying to just the uppercut, so that was a mistake if that was true. Obviously, I'm making mistakes like that all the time, I'm sure. They just usually aren't so, like, stupid looking. I don't know. I was trying to find a way, it wasn't that bad. I was trying to find a way to kill it that wasn't the uppercut, so that I could uppercut on Awaken 1 once I get the Apotheosis and I can weaken it again. But then I didn't find anything, so then I just killed it. I think that actually makes sense. But sometimes I just play things for no reason. It's definitely true. And we're all set up. Unfortunately, we never... I don't know if I was offered like a true grid or anything, but that would have been really good. If I skipped something like that, that was a big mistake, but I don't recall seeing Burning Pact or True Grid at any point, at least in the recent future, or recent past, where it seemed like post-Apotheosis and post-Runic Pyramid, anything like that would have been really insane. Got our Sundial cooking for us, very nice. Slowly getting there. Getting so much strength it can't possibly win. And I was thinking, is there a way to get around bashing? I did not think as long as I thought I was going to. That's good. And normally in my decks you'd be watching, these wounds would be drawing us a card and gaining us 3 block. Not today. We are going raw. Nothing but reap to carry us along here. I actually get to play Clash. It's incredible. I could have played that wound. Oops. And we got there with full health and a feed. Very nice. So it's starting to come together here. We found a little bit of a groove. We sift through the 90% of our deck that's absolutely terrible. We play Spot Weakness, Headbutt, Dual Wield on Reaper, and we do that until we win. And if the enemy happens to kill us before we get enough strength to outlive the enemy, then we just die. But so far, we are doing well. And that's why Feed is so strong, as sometimes all you need is that health buffer to not die before you get kind of set up and start reaping a lot. It's one of the reasons Feed is strong, I should say. I think I didn't immediately realize Reaper and Dual Wield were already in my hand. That's the explanation for that. And I get rid of all these cards. Getting rid of Entrench is a little bit spooky looking, but I think it's fine. And I wanted to get rid of those Havocs. God, those Havocs. They are wreaking havoc on this deck. And it's very cool. You can only keep one Reaper around. Normally, if you make a bunch of Reapers without a Runic Pyramid, then you may want to keep as many as possible in your deck in order to maximize the chance of drawing it alongside the dual wield again. But in this case, we can just play however many we want and only keep one, and that way we can always have one to copy again. It's very nice. It's all very cozy. So I split here. And I can get out this turn. I can reset it, rather. If I play 6 cards... I can't even play 6 cards. That's not possible. So I play a few cards, and I pass. That way I can actually play cards this turn if necessary. And it doesn't actually do anything. That's a pretty good turn. Dual wield's still in there. I should probably be Sever Souling soon. Like now. I at least get rid of, yeah, one of them. And the Slimed. Nope. Nope. I could clear my hand there because of Sundial, so that's fine. See, I was not remembering feed here, I think, but I can go Spot Weakness, Reaper Feed. I would have healed for a little bit more, but that's fine. So I made it through Act 3 Boss Gauntlet with this pile here. Very cool. But in my mind, at this point, I'm still wondering how does this... I think Act 4 Elite is really the scariest thing. That is such a ruthlessly aggressive, fast, deadly fight. And it takes us a few turns to get this whole package in play here. So it's gonna look a bit scary here. Also, we still have 0 powers, and unfortunately we dig one last time, found a Bottled Flame. We can actually do a Reaper here and make sure we have it as soon as we find our other pieces. It's not amazing, but it's better than skipping it, probably. And Strange Spoon is here. I don't click that, I don't think. But it is interesting. An Artifact Pod is here, notably, and that will heal us for quite a lot, since the Heart vulnerables you on turn 1. Third half, like that's like the 10th copy of Havoc I've seen on sale, just to spite me here. How have I not removed Havoc at this point? I don't know. I think it probably finally goes here. There's still another one, unfortunately. Found Apotheosis, that's going to help quite a lot. I didn't even care about Apotheosis upgrade because we have 5 energy. It's just like, I'll just play it. It's fine. I want Uppercut back, it looks like. It does weaken, so that's blocking for 12 by itself. Get rid of the burns, probably. Take some damage. Now you gotta turn around, and unfortunately getting hit again by the spear. That's very, very bad. I realized immediately. Whoops, I passed without playing the wounds. Trolling. Now I Sever Soul them. Now I play Clash. Sever Soul has been shockingly good this run, I would say. And now we're taking 54. Ouch. We are setting up the Reaper shenanigans again. There's Spot Weakness finally. I can't even headbutt Havoc, the spot weakness, because it might cast it on the spear. Oh man, it sucks so much. Like, can it just let me target the thing when it plays the card? I don't know. Just a thought. Ooh, I played... that was bad. I should not have played Defend there. I could have fed on the guy here. Almost certainly. Now it's going to get shielded. And now it's going to hit us for 40. Big mistake! Double Reaper feed. Play the burns. That could have blocked it this turn if I killed it last turn, and then that would have been 18 health or whatever. So chilling a little bit here. I want to try to maximize this Reaper. I can uppercut into the shield here. And that way I don't actually hit it for real. And then to play 2 Reapers and heal for 28. 25. Pesky bronze scales. And stone calendars here, dealing 52 damage on turn 7. Not that great here. And I'm looking at this evolve and I'm like, hang on a second, that might be the first power I've seen, or and Metallicize, all run, except for that Juggernaut, I think. That's kind of crazy. And I was like, at this point I remembered I had a Mummified Hand. I literally forgot that I had a Mummified Hand. I was like, wait, normally that relic is good, but it doesn't do anything this whole run. Take Metallicize, sure. And Power Pot is here, but I think my potions are better. The ability to get rid of all these trash cards is actually very nice, even without Dark Embrace Feel No Pain. And here we go. We're against the Hearts. We do have 74 health. We have a Tungsten Rod for the Beat of Death, and we have an Elixir to get rid of some trash. And we have Medkit to get rid of the statuses. Can the Madman pull it off? That was not a good Havoc. Should not have done that. Shouldn't play anything, really. I want to exhaust cards, it seems. So already getting rid of some trash here. And I want Headbutt, so I can do the Headbutt thing. But I get rid of Entrench. I'm not planning on blocking. I'm frailed in this start here. Just weaken it, and then play a bunch of Reapers. Genius. Tungsten Rod, of course, combining with the not getting vulnerable and weakening the heart, reducing all the damage we took there, so that's very good. And we already got our Reapers cooking, but we needed to actually be hitting us to spot weakness. So we are very low. It's a little bit spooky already, but I did take some damage there for self-forming clay, which is great. One Reaper down. Can't play both Reapers or we lose. Have to find a different way. This power through is so awkward with the Velvet Choker. Uppercut to get rid of the artifacts. Gotta find dual wield again quickly here. Play feed, get it out of my hand. Doesn't do anything, it's fine. Stone Calendar did something, I think. Very nice. Alright, we're reaping yet again. I may have to play them both, there is a chance. Headbutt what? making 60, so I'm just dead there. Almost. I'm gonna make more Reaper. Tungsten Rod is definitely helpful here. And we wanted it to do the multi-hit before the big hit, since we get so much self-forming clay proc from that. Do I Havoc? Don't care about any of those cards. I actually really want the spot weakness. That's part of the awkwardness. I risk it though. And we get Headbutt. Probably on Ghostly Armor it seems. Okay. That's a bit ambitious, thinking we can block this turn. And we're out of Vulnerable on it. So I should probably Uppercut first here. That would have been very obvious and good. So I think I'm messing up poorly here. I'm making it more interesting for content. The Uppercut was very, very obvious there. It would have been 4 times 15 instead. I could have done more damage with Reaper. Lived, saved a Reaper. Now I'm out of Reapers. Very spooky. But I knew that we'd be killing it soon. Like, just as the line that I saw, I guess. Now, I've never had that happen, where it hit me for that much, and I took all of the damage and lived, so I've never seen all those wounds before. Took me a little bit by surprise there. Now we'd have to kill it over 2 turns with some random attacks in our deck. So yeah, after throwing for content, despite my best efforts, we've won this run. It looks like. And we got there. 46 minutes. Pretty quick overall, but it felt like so much longer. What a slog. And unfortunately I can't see the relic stats because this is no mods. But yeah, now that I've done that, I already went and did an Ascension 1 run as the other characters now, so no more of this. This is the only unmodded run we're gonna see. Or no mods. The run isn't modded, but the game is, you know? And got my beta art there, so I'll be happily enabling my good art there. So yeah, a very strange run. Hope you enjoyed. If you're still here, have you not subbed? Have you not liked the video? Thank you for watching. And as always, have a beautiful day.